Me now is the Democratic Congressman from Texas's 20th District, Joaquin Castro. Congressman Castro, once again, the Democrats have saved the day. Why does it keep taking Speaker Boehner so long to realize that this is the only playbook that keeps the country running?
Right. Well, you see on a lot of these big votes where the right wing of the Republican Party, or the Tea Party wing, forces the speaker to choose between basically placating them with what they want or being responsible. Fortunately, at the end of the day, on most issues, with some exceptions like immigration, the speaker is finally forced to move over to the middle, to work with Democrats, and in this case, pass a bipartisan bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security. So that's a good thing. I hope that that will be a lesson for everybody in the Congress, but most especially for the folks in the Republican conference, that they shouldn't do that again over the next few years. Well, but somehow, I don't know if they're going to take that advice.
Yeah, I guess I wonder from inside the halls of Congress. Last Friday felt like there are a lot of rebukes to John speakership, but that one in particular on Friday felt like a stinging rebuke. And I wonder if you think anything has changed in the speaker's calculus about how he moves the quote-unquote new American Congress forward.
No, I mean, I think that he finally was able to stand up to his right wing a bit, it looks like, but he was able to do that with the cooperation of Democrats, but also because this is one of the worst issues that they could fight about, not funding the Department of Homeland Security. And as he mentioned to his conference, to his Republican members, imagine if you have a terrorist event or something horrible happens when we're debating all this and holding up funding. That's basically going to sink Republicans at that point. But on other issues, on health care, for example, I think that the worst thing that could happen to Republicans right now is for the Supreme Court to essentially rule in their favor on that health care law and take away subsidies for health care to Americans, because if the court did that and threw that issue into chaos, the Republicans right now in Congress are completely unprepared to come up with a solution. Not only do they not have a solution in mind, even if they did have a solution, I don't think they could get broad support among their party members to pass something. So they're really in a kind of paralysis right now, the speaker is, unless they're willing to work with Democrats.
Yeah, it's paralysis driven by fear of legislating, whether it's small L legislating, like passing funding bills, or big L legislating, like fixing or making repairs to a law that could use some improvements. I have to ask you, Congressman, I know that there is Republican disarray on the issue of legislation, but there was a lot of unity on the right when Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu came to Congress this morning. You were not in attendance. Did you watch his speech? And if you did you have a reaction to it?
I did. I watched his speech, and I respectfully declined to attend because I think that a head of state should invite a head of state to address a body like the United States Congress. I thought that he gave a strong restatement of his position on the negotiations with Iran. But I think at the end of the day, I think we've got to realize that there are two ways that we can keep Iran from getting or developing nuclear weapons. The first one is diplomacy, including sanctions, and I've supported stronger sanctions against Iran. And the second one is war. And nobody has explicitly said that they are advocating going to war with Iran. And so unless they're making that second statement that they're ready to go to war and they're advocating for it, then our other option is to sit down at the table and negotiate. We don't know exactly what the deal is going to look like yet. So, I've got to disagree with the part where he's just completely saying that it's a bad deal. We don't know what the details of the deal are right now because there's nothing finally on the table yet. But I thought that it was a strong restatement of his position.
Congressman Joaquin Castro, thank you as always for your time.
Thank you.